rights that you have as a parent, as opposed to if you wanted to take your child to public education, private education, homeschools, whatever you have, the rights are all the same. The United States should not infringe on your rights, and you should not be denied of these rights. If you want more information about the South Dakota rights, I have included a link here that will take you to the Parental Rights and Procedural Safeguards PDF file. So you can scroll through that. The next part I'm going to spend a little bit more time on. It talks about the assessment process of a child who is thought to have a disability. The first thing that is done is the identification of high-risk needs. So this could be performed by a teacher, or even a parent could sometimes feel like their child needs to be assessed. So this is talking about any child who is experiencing those social, academic, or medical, or maybe even language needs. They're performing higher, or they're performing lower than those of their peers or of students in their grade level. The next one would be the referral to the child's study team. This is when the teachers will attempt to try different strategies in the classroom. Usually there will be a committee that's formed in your school that will talk about different strategies that the teachers can use for your child. The next one, the teachers would have to obtain parental informed consent to do the assessments. When the initial evaluation is suspected or requested, then these papers would be sent home for the parent to agree and sign, yes, you may go ahead and do those assessments on my child. The next one is understanding the requirements of an evaluation for a suspected disability. So whether the child has a disability, this takes into consideration their present level of academic achievement and their functional performance. And if they are eligible to related service for the services, then these will go on to hold an IEP meeting with you and your child. The next one would be under the multidisciplinary team and the comprehensive assessment. This is used to gather the functional, academic, and development information. This is where you will receive paperwork that you need to assess your child at home, their behaviors, their different things that happen that go on home, and how your child reacts to them. And if your child is seen to have elevated scores across the board, like at school, at home, and in another classroom, then that's when the teachers start to assess for different disabilities. The next one would be understanding the various methods of assessment options that are available to the multidisciplinary team. This would be just in place to make sure that the student is provided with the most comprehensive assessment, meaning that the highest professionals are giving them, that's done with the right tests, and it's not just your child sitting in a room all day playing with blocks. The next one would be your basic statistic and scoring terminology used in the assessment. This is how a psychologist will come in and explain your child's scores to you. They'll report if they think your child does have a suspected disability or not. And the eighth step would be the student's behavior during the assessment process. This just observes the student and how they react. Their different learning styles, their areas of struggle, if they have low or high self-esteem, if they get frustrated easily, different tasks that worked and didn't work when the child was being assessed. Part 9 would be to understand the components of the professional report. So this would just be the teachers and professionals and school psychologists summarizing all their findings and telling you what they think your next step should be. 10 would be understanding what is required for the presentation of the IEP committee. So this is determine whether or not the student actually does have a documented disability. The IEP team will also go over what kind of setting would be best for your child and the different curriculum needs that would be in your next step for the child. 11 would be understanding CBM. This is a method that teachers use to find out how the student is progressing. So they do one in math, reading, writing, and I believe spelling. It goes through